Hello everybody, Colton R here, and welcome back to more NCAA Football 2006. In the last episode, we shut out Iowa in a top 5 matchup, 48-0. That led us to getting the number 3 spot. Well, yeah, I think number 3. But then again, I might be wrong. But the important thing is we moved up, and we're now number 3 in the country. And as you can see here, we have a matchup with Penn State in Happy Valley. Now, as you all know, Happy Valley is a very intimidating place to play because, well, it's kind of one of the, loudest places in college sports. But as you know, I haven't had, any trouble, playing at Penn State. I mean, look at me at College Football 25. I handled Penn State. But the only time that I had trouble at Penn State was in NCAA Football 2002. That was a bit of a struggle bus. But luckily I beat Penn State in overtime to win that, so yeah. But anyways, it's time to play Penn State once more in this somewhat legendary rivalry game, even though a lot of Ohio State fans don't consider this as a rivalry game, but I do. Because why not? It's 2 historic programs with, 2 historic coaches. One was Woody Hayes, one was Joe Paterno. So obviously, it's time to get in the game and play this epic rivalry game of epic proportions. I think the first NCAA football video game to recognize this as a rivalry was NCAA Football 09. I believe. So yeah, it took a couple of games, a couple of NCAA football video games to actually count this one as a rivalry. Oh boy, Kirk Herbstreit, I can't speak. Brad Nessler and Lee Corso.
The forecast tells us it's going to be cold and rainy for tonight's matchup between
it's a Big Ten matchup.
And the Nittany Lions of Penn State.
Oh yes, yes it is. Here's the current Big Ten standings right now. Michigan somehow in the lead, and here comes Penn State right now. And here comes Ohio State.
Coming into this one, Kirk, it really doesn't appear to be much of a contest.
Ohio State comes into this football game.
And there's quarterback Troy Smith.
Believe me, he won't buy into any of this pregame "we're going to blow him out" hoopla. He's a focused competitor, and he'll be ready to play.
Nice pick.
There's no way to.
And Lee Corso's going with the Buckeyes to win the game. And now it's time for the coin toss. Alright, heads or tails? We're going to go with tails. Penn State won the toss. Great. And they're going to receive the football. So that means we'll start with the ball in the second half. Alright, here we go. First away game of the season for the Buckeyes here in Happy Valley.
Number 7 fields it in the end zone.
Alright, here we are.
Today we get to watch a very talented quarterback direct the offense.
So first and 10 here for Penn State.
For him to have a good game.
There's no doubt about it. He needs to play well today, but it's not going to be easy.
Oh, it's a sack.
Very good set of corners.
A.J. Hawk with the sack.
This quarterback in this matchup any day of the week. He's a proven leader, and he won't let his team down.
Second and long coming up here. Ball on the 14-yard line. Number 12 is back in the gun. He drops back. He's going right.
Throws. It's caught by the wide receiver, and this will be third down, third and 9.
It's third down and 9 to go. Ball on the 21-yard line. Number 12 with 3 wide receivers. Back to pass.
Strong back to pass. He throws. caught by the running back, but he is short.
That won't be enough to move the chain.
So Penn State will have to punt away. Ted Ginn Jr. back deep to return.
They line up to punt this one away. Number 49 gets it off. Number 7 fields it at the 34.
And couldn't do anything on that return.
See if they can't get an early lead on their first.
All right. 1st and 10 on our own 34.
At the 34.
And man, that stadium pulse is loud. 17th toughest stadium
Ohio
pulse.
State lines up in a double tight set. On the ground.
And there's Pittman. He gets a first
Bring
down.
him down. And the halfback ripped off a nice gain there.
And we're across the 50-yard line, so we're in Penn State territory.
Here's what they've done on offense.
And we have the 6th best offense in the country.
They've got the ball.
Not bad at all. This team has been moving the football and scoring on everybody they play.
And a few yards on that run.
4-yard gain
I can
by
definitely say that the best offense right now in the country is USC. There's no doubt
Second
about
and 6
that.
coming up here. Ball on the
Mainly is
45-yard
because they
line.
got Matt Leinart and Reggie Bush. So, yeah.
Tight end set. Tackle.
Ran with the football that time. Got a few yards on that one. You know what? We're going to run it again.
3rd and 4. Ball on the
We're
43.
we're a top 10 in 3rd down conversions. We're in 10th in the country. And there was a hold wide open, and
Brought down.
Antonio
That was
Pittman
a
got the
nice
first
run.
down.
That was a great job by the
And right now he's leading the NCAA in yards and touchdowns.
Nice read by the ball carrier to find that running lane.
When you break one like that, you got to
That
give a lot of
is
credit
awesome.
to the offensive line.
It's 1st and 10. Ball on the 31-yard line. The Buckeyes line up with 2 tight ends. Again with a carry. And they make the stop. Maybe a yard on the run by the tailback.
They figured out that one. You know what? Let's try and pass real quick. PA toss across.
2nd and 10. Ball on the 31. The Buckeyes come out in a bunch.
Fakes the
formation.
pitch.
He's rolling
Gonna throw it
right.
again. Ginn's got it.
To the right.
That's a first down for Ted Ginn Jr.
Way to look it in. Heck of a job by the wide receiver. These guys are moving the ball down the
Oh,
field.
that was a beautiful catch. Beautiful catch by Ted Ginn Jr. And now it's a 1st and goal at Penn State's 6-yard line.
And here they are in the red zone.
And we're 6th in red zone scoring with a 94% season average. And Pittman in for the touchdown.
And the halfback took it in for the score.
That young man is going to be a valuable member of this squad. And if he keeps running like that, he'll find himself in the end zone a lot.
And now it is time to attempt the extra point. Josh Houston to kick it.
And he hits the PAT.
And it's good.
Score leads us to our Pontiac drive summary. Number 23, ready to kick. And he got all of this one. Great kick. Number 7 fields it in the end zone. So the offense takes
All
over.
right,
The last
now
time
Penn
they had the
State
ball,
takes over.
Had a tough time getting anything going.
1st and 10 at the 20.
Watch the linebacker. He's the star of the defense, and he's in the zone right now. They'll throw on 1st down. With the throw.
Throws, it's caught.
He's knocked out of bounds.
But did they get the
Pass
first
good for
down?
87 yards.
They're short.
It's 2nd down and 3 to go.
2nd and 3 here for Penn State.
Penn State sets up in the eye. Toss.
They pitch it,
Gets
and
that one. He's gobbled up in the backfield.
yeah, we are not going to have excessive celebration. We're just not going to do
Look
that.
at how dominant they've been on
And this
defense.
is why we're excessively celebrating. We're the top defense in the country. Only allowing an average of 159 yards per game. That is what you call an outstanding Buckeye defense. And there is A.J. Hawk with the sack. Can we get a replay on that? Yeah, A.J. Hawk, he knew that the quarterback was going to keep the football. And thus, it was a sack. And now Penn State will have to punt away. Ted Ginn Jr. back deep to
No
return.
surprise here as they prepare to punt it away. Number 49 gets it off.
Yeah, we're not going to be able to return this
Fields
one.
it at the 40.
Yeah, not
Time
enough
once again for
coverage
this offense
there.
to come back out and start another drive.
Alright. Back to we know what works.
They'll take over.
Running the football with Antonio Pittman.
Ohio State comes out with 2
Here's
tight ends.
Pittman.
They keep it on the ground with a tailback.
And not a lot of yardage on that play.
He's only able to gain a yard.
Okay, time to change up the plans here a bit. Since running's not working, we're going to go pass. We're going to go pass the football with wide receiver
Second
post.
and 9 coming up here. Ball on the 42-yard line. Ohio State comes out with an I formation. Look.
Oh, I hit it as I threw. Incomplete.
Way to keep your head on a swivel, kid. That was a nice job of locating the football and knocking it down to prevent the completion.
Sure was, Coach. He put himself in great position to make a play.
Okay, this time we're going to go PA boot.
3rd and 9. Ball on their own 42.
3rd and 9 here. It's getting pretty loud.
I formation here.
Fake the handoff.
Looking.
And I'm
Under
getting
pressure.
sacked.
And down he goes. Great speed to find his way to the quarterback.
You know, if I were the coach, I'd line this kid up at defensive end every now and then.
Wow, can you imagine that? On 3rd and long type situations, he'd make a great rush end, Kirk.
It just took too much time. Didn't get the football out in time. And now it's time to punt the ball away.
Are lining up the punt and away.
KJ Trapasso about to punt this ball away.
They get this one off.
Oh, it's a pretty good punt.
Number 7 calls for the fair
They call for fair catch. And it's going to go out of the end zone for a
Down
touchback.
for a touchback. And now we'll see
Hey,
the
broke
offense
the
come out
longest
and
punt
field their
record.
next possession.
I like breaking records. Records are meant to be broken.
They'll go to work at the 20.
Alright, 1st and 10 for Penn State here. As they get the ball
Penn
back.
State comes out in the shotgun. Lobs it
Oh,
to
they're going to throw a deep ball, and it's picked off. Nate Sally with the pick.
And credit the safety with that last interception.
He knew exactly where the quarterback
And there's Ubodi and Sally celebrating together because that was a great pick.
and know what's going on out there.
And that comes from breaking down film of his
And we didn't get penalized for
Paying
that.
attention all week
Nice.
in practice. This safety was ready for today's game.
Alright, so with 4 seconds left in the first quarter, we're going to go run the football.
Shot at the 38. The Buckeyes come out
And off to
the
Pittman, and oh, he fumbled the football. And luckily, Rory Nickel came back and got the football again.
Oh, man, that was
But that's going to be a big,
that kid was paying
big
attention.
loss of yardage. Lost 3 yards. So we're going to have to figure out what to do here at a time like this. And that's going to go past the football.
It's 2nd down now and 13
So it seems
to go.
Penn
Ball on the
State's
35.
got an eye on our running game.
Ohio State
So now we're going to
comes the
focus
line.
on our
3
passing
wide.
game.
He's looking.
And there's Ted Ginn Jr. He was wide open. And look at him go. He's gone. Touchdown, Ohio State. Ted Ginn Jr.
Hauls it into the touchdown.
Excuse me. Let's take a look at that, replay. And look at that.
Throwing his weight a lot.
Beautiful pass to Ted Ginn Jr. And he's in for a touchdown. 65 yards. And now it's time to attempt the extra point. Penn State, they thought they could get us by stopping the running game. But little did they know, we also have the passing game. So if the run game doesn't work, passing game
And he
will
tacks
surely
on the
work.
extra point. So with just under 5 minutes remaining in the second quarter, the score, Ohio State 14, Penn State nothing.
And now it's time to kick off to Penn State once more.
Kicks it deep. Number 2 fields it in the end zone. This defense did a good job on the last series. They forced the offense to go 3 plays and out.
And now they're looking to build off of that and shut them down again right here.
They'll get the ball here at the 20-yard line. The Nittany Lions come out in a 2 tight end set. They'll give it off here. Juku, and he's taken down. A nice 6-yard gain by the tailback there. 2nd and 4. Ball on the 26-yard line.
All right, second down here for Penn State.
Drops back to pass. Wants to throw.
Throws, it's caught, and that'll be a first down for Penn State.
Nice heads-up play by the
That's their first down of the game.
That's the first down.
It's 1st and 10. Ball on the 31-yard line. Penn State sets up in the eye. He's going long.
Gonna throw a deep ball, and it's caught.
Great concentration.
Now that was a good-looking play. The quarterback put it where his receiver could get it, and now
There are a bunch of Buckeye defenders on there, but Penn State's able to make the catch. And that's a first down for Penn State. And they're now in OSU territory.
1st and 10. Ball on the 36-yard line. The Nittany Lions come out with split back.
And only a few yards on that run.
Maybe a few, but that's it. It's 2nd down and 8 to go. And this is the 5th play of the current drive. And the impact linebacker has turned it up a notch. He's looking for his man, and it's caught. Got an opening, and he's shoved out of bounds.
Nice decision by the quarterback.
And that's a first down. First down for Penn State.
Protected just long enough for him to find his target.
And when you combine the two, it'll be a first down 9 out of 10 times.
And A.J. Hawk sacks the quarterback.
The quarterback had nowhere to go, and he's brought down for the sack.
They've got to do a better job up front.
Another sack for A.J. Hawk, as it's now 2nd and 16 for Penn State.
Number 12 comes to the line with 3 wide. Back to pass.
Drops back to pass. They throw, and they got a first down.
Way to look it in. Nice catch.
Sure was. He displayed some great hands there. Now we're looking at a first down.
1st and 10. They're threatening inside the 20.
1st and 10 here for Penn State.
The Nittany Lions line up with 3 wide. Gets the ball. No, they faked it.
And that's caught, and that'll be a first down.
I like the defense that was called. They just didn't make the play on the ball.
You're right. It wasn't necessarily bad defense. The offense.
All right, we gotta figure out some here. First and goal for Penn State.
Looks like they're going to try to power this one in. On the ground, left side.
And touchdown, Penn State.
Well, that's how you get it done when you're down by the goal line, Coach.
When you're close like this, you tell your guys, get in there, push, shove, and block. Just get the ball.
And Penn State's a point away from making this a 1-touchdown game. And it's good. And the lead is now cut down to 7.
Penn State 7.
As we lead Penn State 14-7 now. Excuse me. And Santonio Holmes will return this kickoff.
Well, the offense heading back out onto the field after that kick, hoping to turn this drive into another touchdown.
Excuse me.
They'll start this drive at the 23-yard line. The Buckeyes come out in the ace
First and
formation.
10 here.
Got away.
And got a few yards on that
4-yard
run.
gain by the back. It's second down and 6 to go. Ball on the 27. They come out with a big set.
Second and 6. And
And he
oh.
stopped behind the line.
Thought that was going to be a good run play, but just couldn't get anything going there. Alright, so it's 3rd and 6.
Third and 6.
We're going to go PA boot.
Penn State.
And it looks like Penn State's going to take a timeout. They're going to think this through.
Now it's 3rd and 6.
Alright, here we go. 3rd and 6. A minute 59 left in the first half.
The Buckeyes line up in an I formation.
Fake the handoff. Gonna throw it deep again. And he's got it! And he's gone again! Touchdown, Ohio State!
And he just hauled in his second touchdown catch of the
Holy moly!
Somebody on this
Can we see that again?
serious damage.
Getting pressure on the quarterback is also
Just look at
key.
this.
You can't
Look
let
at this.
guy play pitch and catch.
Perfect
Receive
catch.
all day.
Penn State doesn't know what in the world they're doing. And that leads to an easy touchdown by Ted Ginn Jr. Honestly, that is spectacular. This is spectacular. And I love it. I love it. So great. Alright. Now to attempt the extra point. And the extra point is good.
And he tacks on the extra point.
Now it's back to being a 2-score game.
Ohio State ready to kick this one off. Number 2.
And Penn State might have just wasted one of their timeouts with that. Took a timeout. And excuse me. Took a timeout, and what happens next?
Great passing was the
A
key.
deep
The
ball
offense
to Ted Ginn Jr. for a touchdown. That is insane.
down the field for a touchdown.
So if I'm the coach, I'm telling my defensive linemen to get more pressure on that quarterback, please.
Penn State comes to the line with 3 wide. They'll throw on first down. He's going left. Complete, and he's shoved out of bounds.
And that's a first down for Penn State.
Not only was it good decision making, but the offensive line protected just long enough for him to find his target.
And when you combine the two, it'll be a first down 9 out of 10 times.
They come out with a big set. There's a play fake.
Oh, and that's a sack. A.J. Hawk
This kid's been in the backfield.
with the sack.
Is he close to a record?
Boom.
Tie the school record for sacks if he can take the quarterback down one more time.
His ability to disrupt this offense and cause problems in the passing game has been absolutely tremendous. What a day for this kid.
High formation here. Setting up the play.
Oh, and another sack by A.J. Hawk.
We just saw what makes this young man an All-American.
Excuse me.
This guy's gonna make him
Man, another sack. That's back-to-back sacks for A.J. Hawk.
Third down, and
It's now 3rd and 25 here for Penn State.
line. They come out with 3 wide receivers. Fullback straight ahead.
And that's a tackle by Bobby Carpenter.
Linebacker, I'll tell you what,
And that will
looked
be
like
a
he snuffed that
3 and
one
out.
from the beginning.
And we are going to take a timeout.
much the ball carrier could do in that situation.
Excuse me.
Ohio State calls a timeout. They line up to punt this one away.
Getting a quick drink of water here.
He punts
Oh,
it.
almost dropped my controller.
Number 7.
And
takes
here's
the
Ted
fourth.
Ginn Jr. And oh boy, that was a pretty good return there.
The offense hits the field. Let's take the time to let you know.
Pretty good
Our game
return.
brought to
All
you
right.
by EA Sports.
38 seconds left in the first half.
At the 34-yard line.
So why not just run the football? Just run the
They line up in a
football.
double tight set. On the ground with the tailback.
Because we got a pretty substantial lead.
And the defense comes up with a good stop there.
Yeah, remember that the clock does not stop unless they get a first down, get out of bounds, or call timeout.
2nd and 8 coming up here. Ball on the 32-yard line.
Alright, 2nd and 8. Ball on 32. Hand off to Pittman again.
Keep it on the ground again. They need
We're
to
going to
do a
call
better job of
timeout
managing the
just to
clock here.
slow down the
Fred.
clock.
Not only was that a horrible play in terms of yards picked up, but also, as you mentioned, in terms of all the time that may be wasted.
It's 3rd down and 5 to go. Ball on the 29. Ohio State goes with the ace set here. Up the middle.
And that's a first down.
So nothing fancy about this offense.
And we're going to try and hurry up to the line. We got 1 timeout left, and we're going to hurry up to the line, see how far we can get to the end zone before we have to call timeout. Looks like we're going to have to call timeout right now.
Ohio State takes a timeout.
So we're going to call timeout and kick the field goal. So I'm going to coach the O-line and kick the field goal.
2nd and 4 coming up here. This is the
32-yard field goal to make this a 17-point game.
Their last red zone trip resulted in a touchdown. I don't expect this one to be any different. The kick is up.
And it's good.
And it sails through the uprights.
And it's now a 17-point ball game. And we'll start with the ball in the second half. As we lead Penn State at halftime, 24-7. And USC destroys Arizona. Sheesh. And Michigan smacks Minnesota, obviously. Alright, time to resume the football game. Alright, Penn State about to kick this one off for us.
He kicks it.
And almost went out of bounds, but we have the football, and oh my goodness! Oh my goodness! Santonio Holmes was almost gone with that kick return. He almost took it to the house. Almost took it to the house. But hey, that's good field position there. Good field position. Gonna run the football here. Alright, good run, good run.
2nd and 6. Ball on the 50. 2 tight ends here. They keep it on the ground.
Oh yeah, that's a first down and more.
Taken down. That was a pretty good run.
Incredible effort there, running the football by this guy.
It's 1st and 10. Ball on the 40. The Buckeyes come out in the ace formation. Here's the give. Tackle. A 2-yard run by the halfback.
Alright, 2 yards, that's fine.
2nd and 8 coming up here. Ball on the 38. And this impact receiver is looking to make a play. He's in the zone. And down he goes. Just about 3 yards there.
Ooh, 3 on that one. What are we gonna do? Ooh, let's go PA rollout.
It's 3rd down and 5 to go. And this is the 5th play of the current drive.
This time we're gonna go past the football.
Come out in the ace formation. Nice play fake.
Gonna throw it to Ted Ginn Jr. And he caught it! What a catch! What a catch! Can we see a replay, please? Ted Ginn Jr. with that catch. That's amazing. Alright, we're going to go return to the run game with Antonio Pittman. And Pittman's in! Touchdown, Ohio State!
Second touchdown there by the running back.
And you could tell he really wanted to get in on that one.
Yeah, he showed a lot of determination and heart on
10-yard touchdown run by Antonio Pittman. And now it is time to kick the extra point.
And he tacks on the extra point. And here's the Pontiac drive summary.
All right, we lead 31-7.
Guns all lined up and ready for the kickoff. Kicks it deep. Number 2 fields it in the end zone. And now a slight break in the action as the offense comes out onto the field for their next possession. They'll take over at the 20-yard line.
Will start the drive at the 20-yard line. First and 10.
Penn State sets up in the I. They keep it on the ground with the tailback. And he's hit hard.
All right.
Yard pickup for the tailback.
Penn State got 5 yards on that run. And now bring up 2nd and 5.
Ball on their own 25. Penn State comes to the line, only one man in the backfield. There's the play fake. Throws down the middle. Brought down.
And that's a first down for Penn State.
Look it in. Nice catch.
Sure was. He displayed some great hands there. Now we're looking at a first down.
First and 10. Ball on the 34-yard line. Going with the shotgun here. The option left. Here he goes. And he shoved out of
And
bounds.
Penn State got another first
Picked
down
up a good-looking first
with
down.
the quarterback
Another reason why I
keeper.
love the option. Just when you think he's going to pitch it, he cuts up the field and keeps the ball himself.
No question, Coach. Great execution and a good decision there by the quarterback.
Penn State comes out with an I formation. He drops back. Looking. He's looking deep down the left side.
Throws it deep, incomplete.
Fantastic play by the quarterback.
All you young defensive players at home, that is how
Excuse
you play
me.
defense.
That was some pretty good pass coverage right there.
Ball right around
2nd
midfield.
and 10 now for Penn State.
High formation here. They keep it on the ground with the tailback. And they pick up 2 yards.
On the run. Gain of 2 on the play.
Third and 8. This is the 6th play of this drive. Penn State lines up with 3 receivers. Setting up the play.
And that's a
He's
sack.
for a loss. I think we're
And look
getting
at that.
close to a record,
A.J.
Coach.
Hawk just
Just
broke
one
his
more
own
sack
record
from
for
this kid.
sacks in a
He's gonna
game.
tie the NCAA mark for the most in one game.
And that's a school record. Yeah, A.J. Hawk's going crazy. And Penn State once
They line
more
up
has to
put this one
punt.
away.
49-yard line.
Hangs it up
And
high.
that's going to be out of bounds. Yep.
They did a great job on their last drive, moving the ball down the field for a touchdown.
All right,
They can
first and
duplicate
10.
on this drive. They'll get the ball at the
Excuse me.
28-yard line.
Sheesh.
Ohio State lines up in a double tight set. Little handoff. And he's taken down.
All right, few yards on that one.
2nd and 7 coming up here. Ball on the 31-yard line. One man backfield. And down he goes. The halfback runs for 4 yards.
You know, let's run the ball here.
It's 3rd down and 3 to
4th
go.
and 3.
Ball on their own
I mean, 3rd and
35.
3. Don't know why I said
The
4th and 3.
Buckeyes come out in a 2 tight end set. On the ground with the tailback.
Oh, we're going to be short, aren't we?
He attempted to pick up the first by running it.
4th and 2.
And the defensive line won that battle easily.
You know what? We're in the lead by 24. Might as well go for on 4th and 2.
They're crowding the line.
That's a first down.
And he's taken down.
First down.
First down pick up by the tailback.
You can see how comfortable this guy is with that football in his arms.
1st and 10. Ball on the 39.
On the 39-yard line.
The Buckeyes line up with 2 tight ends. Big
Oh, yeah. Look at that. Look at that. That's a
Makes the
first
stop.
down.
Picked up big yards there, and he's going to have a first down.
Yeah, nice job there. This guy does a good job of reading his blocks and accelerating through the holes.
It's 1st and 10, and this is the 6th play of the drive. Ohio State comes to the line, only one man.
Oh,
left.
wow.
And down he goes. 1
Couldn't
yard
do
on the
anything
play.
on that run.
It's 2nd down and 9 to go. Ball on the 46-yard line. The Buckeyes come out in the ace formation. They'll go with a run once again. Maybe a few, but that's it.
Gain of 2 on the play.
Okay. PA boot.
3rd and 7 coming up here. Ball on the 44.
So these guys failed to, you know, cover Ted Ginn Jr.
In the lineup.
So we're going to throw it to Ted Ginn Jr. And look at that. He's wide open. Ted Ginn Jr. wide open. And it's a first down. Seriously. Why can't these guys cover him? I don't know. But hey, let's keep it going. Let's keep it going. So when in doubt, throw it to Ted Ginn Jr. And that's going to be the end of the 3rd quarter. We're still leading 31 to 7.
And at the end of 3, our score, Ohio State 31, Penn State 7.
All right, let's go halfback slam this in for a touchdown.
They line up in an eye.
Oh wow.
They'll bring him down.
All right.
4 yards gain.
No huddle. No huddle. All right, let's
They
go.
put everyone up on the line. They'll give it off here.
Touchdown.
Touchdown, Ohio State. Lee, what do you have for us?
Guys, let me give you a stat here.
And that's another running touchdown for Antonio Pittman.
On the ground, 1 guy. That defense better watch out, because if they cheat up too much on the run, pop, they're going to get hit with a pass over the top.
Now to attempt the extra point. And it's good.
It's the PAT. Time to take a look at the drive summary. It's brought to you by Pontiac. Fuel for the soul. Number 23, ready to kick.
And Penn State is now down by 31 points, so we can safely say that Penn State's not going to come back from this one. It is over and done with. So that means Ohio State will move to 5-0 overall. 2-0 in the Big Ten.
Pro formation here.
And I love it. I love being 2-0 in the Big Ten.
With the throw.
And that's an incomplete
He
pass.
was looking for his running back, but the pass just sailed on it. 2nd and 10. Ball on the 20. The Nittany Lions come out with split back. Little handoff. Big opening. And he's tackled. And that one goes for a big first down.
You know, every time
That's a first down for Penn State.
that defense starts to creep up a little bit. That's when you go to the air.
They still lost,
over the top.
but it's a first down.
From the gun. Drop back to pass. Throw short.
Incomplete.
Fallen incomplete. Wow, did he take a hit?
Yes, my friend, but he's got to make those catches if he wants to play tight end in the big leagues. Otherwise, just gain a few pounds and become, an offensive lineman.
The Nittany Lions come out showing 3 wide. Gets the ball. No, they faked it. Throws down the middle.
And that ball is complete.
I like the defense that was called. They just didn't make the play on the ball.
You're right. It wasn't necessarily bad defense. The offense just executed, and the result is a first down.
It's 1st and 10. This is
So after this week, the top 3 is probably going to still stay the same, with USC at number 1, Michigan at number 2, and Ohio State at 3.
nice play fake. He's looking.
But I will say this, folks. If somehow
He had a whole lot of room
Ohio
on that
State,
one.
Pressure's coming from the inside.
excuse me, which is me, I'm Ohio State, and Michigan somehow remains undefeated. So Ohio State and Michigan remain undefeated, and somehow USC remains undefeated. That means if USC finishes the season 12-0,
They'll throw on
either
first down.
Michigan or Ohio State
And that pass
will be the
falls
national
incomplete because it
champion.
was deflected.
Will be one of the national championship contenders. So basically, Ohio State versus Michigan will be the Big Ten championship game, but it will also be the battle for the second spot in the national championship game, because If USC wins out, they're locked in. They're locked into the national championship.
They'll bring him down. Coach, he picked up a few on that one before
But
he
if
got to him.
This was a well-executed
one of us,
running
if
play
Ohio
there.
State or Michigan, if we're still undefeated going into our game against each other, one of us is going to be the Big Ten champion, and one of us is going to be in the national championship game against USC.
One man backfield.
Although,
Steps up in the pocket.
if the game
Might not be able to get the pass.
somehow were to make
Guys, he tipped that one away from the
USC lose,
The ball here, and he almost intercepted it.
then, and we're going to get penalized because of unsportsmanlike conduct from Bobby Carpenter.
Too far with the celebration.
But back to what I was saying. So if somehow the game makes USC lose and Ohio State and Michigan are still undefeated going into our matchup, it's going to be number 1 Michigan versus number 2 Ohio State. That's going to be a game of the century,
When performance
which is going to be pretty interesting.
The offense got 6 the last time they were inside the 20.
And picked off!
Great coverage.
It's picked off by Anthony Schlegel, and there he goes down the field.
Across midfield.
Is anybody going to catch him?
Sideline to the 20.
Yep, the running back caught him.
Kirk, any thoughts on why they've had
And that's the longest interception return in NCAA history.
Interception was another perfect example.
Anthony Schlegel, number 51, with the pick. And it was a user pick by me. Picked it off, and then Penn State's running back just caught up and was able to save a pick 6. But yeah, back to what I was talking about. Ohio State and Michigan. If we both remain undefeated and somehow USC loses, it's going to be 1 versus 2 Michigan game. Michigan-Ohio State game. The game of the century. Which everybody wants,
the pressure
obviously,
turns up when in the red zone.
to see another Ohio State Michigan number 1 and number 2.
Performance matters the most. They line up in a double tight set. And they make the stop. Pickup of a yard for the tailback.
1 yard gain on the play.
Let's see if they can punch this one in.
And, oh, you gotta be kidding me. Really?
That blitz couldn't have worked any better for the defense or any worse for the offense.
You know what? We're not going for a field goal. Nope, 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 nope. We're going for it. We are going for it no matter what. It's 4th and goal on our own 1. We're going for it.
You'll get the call again. Touchdown, Ohio.
There we go. Touchdown. And who else? Antonio Pittman. Yeah, look at us celebrating. Yeah. We deserve to celebrate like that. That was a good touchdown. Alright. Time to attempt the extra point.
And he tacks
And
on
the extra point's good.
This
All right.
drive summary is brought to you by Pontiac. Number 23, ready to kick. And he got all of this one. Great kick. Number 2 fields it in the end zone. Defense won the
And
last
that'll be a
battle.
knee.
They were able to pick the ball off. Who's going to win this time? They'll set up shop at the 20. They're going to give the backup quarterback some playing time in this blowout. Here's the give. He tries to spin. And down he goes. The halfback gets the call and picks up 5.
5 yard gain on the play.
2nd and 5 coming up here. Ball on the 25-yard line. Number 14 with 3 wide receivers. Drops back to pass with the throw. And it's caught. And he's taken down.
Nice decision by the quarterback.
Not only was it good decision-making, but the offensive line protected just long enough for him to find his target.
And when you combine the two, it'll be a first down 9 out of 10 times.
Penn State comes out with an I formation. And he's tackled. They get a yard on the play.
On the run. 1 yard gain on the play.
It's 2nd down and 9 to go.
Yep, this game is almost done. This is about to be another blowout.
Back to pass. Down the middle. His receiver has it. He's all the way down to the 38-yard line.
Now that was a good-looking play. The quarterback put it where his receiver could get it, and now they have a first down.
What I like is the faith that this quarterback has in his receiver. He's not afraid to throw it downfield.
1st and 10, and this is the 5th play of the current drive. They come out with 3 wide receivers. They'll throw on 1st down. He's under some heat, and he's going to be sacked. Well, this guy's been sacking the quarterback all game and one more, and he's got the record.
After that sack, he's now tied for the NCAA record. You better believe he's hoping they pass some more.
6-yard line.
Penn State comes out in the shotgun. It's a direct snap. Bounces off the would-be tackler. Tackle. The halfback gets the call and picks up 5.
5-yard gain on the play.
3rd and 13 coming up. This is the 7th play of this drive.
And players of the game, one of them for Ohio State was A.J. Hawk.
Is back in the gun. He drops back.
And ooh, A.J. Hawk almost got another sack. That was a hurry slash pressure. And now Penn State will punt, and that will be the ball game. Penn State has given up.
Punts the ball away.
And Ted Ginn Jr. is going to let the ball bounce in the end zone. And Penn State fans are about to leave the stadium.
They'll take over at the 20-yard
And once
line.
again, Happy Valley has become Sad
2
Valley.
tight ends here. On the ground with the tailback. Brought down
Timeout.
at the 21-yard line. Ohio State calls a timeout.
Gain on the play.
For craps and giggles, we're just going to throw the football, see what we can do here.
They line up in a double tight set. There's the play fake.
Oh, San Antonio Holmes, he's wide open.
Someone got a hand
Darn.
on it. Nice timing by the safety.
Penn State got a handle on the
Knock it away.
football.
That's what his job is.
All right.
He did it perfectly on that play.
Well played. Well played indeed.
Now it's 3rd and 9 coming up. Ball on their own 21.
And this will be the final play of the football game.
They'll bring in their dime package. Looks, steps up, guns it across the middle. Got him. He goes down.
All right. A reception to San Antonio Holmes will end the football game. And more Penn State fans leaving because they know they have lost. They lost big time. Big time. And that's the end of the game. Ohio State wins 45-7.
Coach, what's your final thought on the game?
I can't say enough about this.
There's Jim Tressel and Joe
Ohio
Paterno
State
shaking
played an
hands.
excellent game out there, dominating on both sides of the ball. They've got to feel pretty good after blowing out a team like this.
Folks, thanks for tuning into our game. Our final score, Ohio State 45, Penn State 7. This is Brad Nessler for Lee Corso and Kirk Herbstreit saying so long.
Please drive home safely.
All right. All right, let's take a look at the stats here. So Troy Smith, 6 for 8, 264 yards, 2 touchdowns. Not bad at all. Antonio Pittman, 33 attempts, 132 yards, 4 touchdowns. Obviously, couldn't get a lot of rushing yards with him, but it's Penn State. They controlled the run game here today, so obviously got to figure out plans on how not to get the run game all blocked up. But receiving, oh, it was great. Ted Ginn Jr., 5 receptions, 227 yards, 2 touchdowns. Longest was 73 yards. And then San Antonio Holmes, 1 reception, 37 yards. That was the last pass of the game. And then on the defensive side, A.J. Hawk, 9 tackles, 7 tackles for loss, 7 sacks. And then you got Anthony Schlegel with 3 tackles and a pick that went for 86 yards. That should have been a pick 6, but hey, we'll take it. But hey, everything is good. Everything is good. Everything is awesome. Ooh, Florida. Oof. I have a feeling that we're going to be playing either possibly, wow, North Carolina beat Louisville. Oof. I have a feeling that we're probably going to play either USC or Florida in the national championship. That's it. That is if we make it. If we make the national championship, meaning we beat Michigan, then probably going to have to, face either USC or Florida. Which I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't mind at all. The week is advancing slowly. Alright, the week has advanced. And now it's time to take a look at the updated polls. So USC still number 3. Number 1. Sheesh. Michigan still 2, we're still 3, Florida 4, Georgia 5, Purdue is 6th. This could be a strange thing where we play Purdue in the national championship, but who knows? Who knows? Texas is 7th, Auburn 8th, Virginia 9th, Texas A&M 10th. And then you got Alabama, Fresno State, Iowa. They lost to Purdue. Oof. Iowa lost to Purdue, Texas Tech won, Oklahoma lost to Texas. Then you got Florida State, you got Missouri, Louisville slips from 5th to 18th in the polls. Kansas State is now 19th and undefeated. Sheesh. Ole Miss undefeated and in 20th. West Virginia undefeated in 21st. Oklahoma State went from 17th to 22nd after a loss to Missouri. NC State went from 16th to 23rd. LSU is in the top 25. And Kansas State lost to Kansas. Interesting. Alright, now time to take a look at the Heisman Watch. Antonio Pittman still first in the Heisman race. 33 carries, 132 yards, 4 touchdowns in the last game, so it kept his Heisman stock up. But I just want to, again, why Chad Henne? Why is this guy still in the Heisman race? Dude, why? Why is Chad Henne? Chad Henne should not be in the Heisman race. He just shouldn't. No. Just no. Chad Henne, no. 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 A.J. Hawk? Yes. Yes. Definitely should be there. And then you got halfback from West Virginia and halfback from Florida. Right now in the Heisman race. And then the players of the week. None from Ohio State for the NCAA players of the week. But AJ Hawk, Defensive Player of the Week for the Big Ten. Yeah! Let's go! And right now, let's take a look right now at the updated Big Ten Conference standings. So Michigan is in first, with Ohio State, Purdue, and Northwestern in second. Michigan State's in third. Well, I guess third, but it says fifth. Then you got Iowa, Illinois, Penn State, Wisconsin, Indiana, and Minnesota. So right now, the top 4 is where you should be looking. Because you got Northwestern, you got Purdue, you got Ohio State, and you got Michigan. One of these 4 might make a run for the Big Ten championship. But I want to focus on Northwestern here. So Northwestern is a team we play before we play Michigan. So if Northwestern somehow proves tough against us, they might be a problem. But we'll just have to wait until the rest of the season plays out. Because they only got 1 loss, which is a regular season non-conference loss, which is fine. But if they somehow win out before they play us, so if they're 5-0, actually no, if they're 6-0 and we're 6-0, it's about to, this Big Ten race is about to heat up, like seriously. And since we don't play Purdue, it's going to heat up even more. Like, we could seriously, Ohio State could win the Big Ten or be co-champs for Purdue. So we could see Ohio State and Purdue be co-champs of the Big Ten and playing in the national championship. It could happen. Anything can happen. But we'll just have to wait and see until, you know, the whole season plays out and stuff. But anyways, guys, that's going to be it for this episode. So I'd like to thank you all for watching this brand new episode of NCAA Football 2006. If you enjoyed it, smack a like on it, subscribe if you're new to this channel, check out my other videos I've uploaded on my channel. And I shall see you guys next time for more NCAA Football 2006. So with that, I'll see you guys later.